Way to go, Tic Tac!
That's how you punch.
Wakanda forever!
Nah, you wouldn't have heard of me.
Let me put you on hold.
Dance off, bro! He's a friend from work!
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
What up, guys? It's Dom, and welcome back to another TV show review. Today we are going over and ranking House Season 5. So Season 5 did feel a lot more like the first 3 seasons of House. It felt like they were going back to the basics from what they know worked well, which definitely made the season much better than the previous one. 4 was a bit of a disappointment, but I'm glad that they realized that and improved it overall. So let's go over why it improved with the 7 essential aspects of a TV show. The first essential aspect is plot. So I thought the plot of Season 5 was good, but what I think made it really good was the impact that you can see that it has on the other characters. So the entire season is really about House's Vicodin addiction. I mean, that's not really the whole plot, but it's the main theme that you see with each episode. And I think that that is the one that translates the most because it is the most realistic issue that you can see in real life with a lot of people, but also because of that message, it enhances the plot and you can see how it affects all these side characters. You can see how it affects the main characters and it makes the plot actually worthwhile a lot more than, for instance, Season 4 was. So I think they did a good job, but that message that it had kind of elevated the plot itself. The second essential aspect is attraction. Like I've said through all of my House reviews, and like I will say up until I finish it with Season 8, it's a hit or miss for anyone. I mean, if you like medical shows, you're gonna enjoy the show. If you don't like medical shows, you might not. I personally feel like this is the type of medical show that even people that don't like that kind of genre can still enjoy because of the comedy, because of the characters, because of the messages that it brings across. So even if you don't like that hospital vibe of a TV show drama, you'll still like this movie, in my at least that's what I think. I could be wrong. If you've watched it and didn't like it, let me know why. I'm very interested in knowing because I like this show and usually I wasn't all behind the whole medical genre until I watched this. Now I kind of am. The third essential aspect is dialogue. So the dialogue is just as good as any other season that it had. It just sounds like characters that have chemistry talking and having real conversations with each other. So there's nothing I can really complain about. I do want to say that the dialogue in the final episode was really, really good though. You can feel the emotion coming off of them as they're talking, as they're arguing, as these conversations are being had in the final episode. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it is deep. It gets you deep. So I do think that the dialogue in this season was better just simply because of that final episode, because otherwise it's just as good. The fourth essential aspect is acting. So everyone did just as good of a job as they have been doing. I do want to mention 2 in particular. One is obviously, as I always mention him, Hugh Laurie, who played Dr. House. He is the face of House, the TV show. He just is. Like, you can't have the show without him. And he does a fantastic job in every single season. And honestly, I feel like his acting ability is improving throughout all the seasons. Even if let's say Season 4, for example, even though the show that season wasn't as interesting, it wasn't as good, it wasn't as entertaining, his acting still felt like he got better because the character has developed to the point where he has to do these new things compared to what he always had to do. And that's the same thing with this season. He's dealing with House, the character, is dealing with all of these addictions and different kinds of emotional impacts that he now has to throw in with his acting. So Hugh Laurie did a fantastic job. And I also wanted to mention Lisa Edelstein, who played Dr. Cuddy. Now, she's been a character in the show since the beginning, but she hasn't really had any big roles until this season. She had a much bigger, impactful role in Season 5 than she had in any of the first 4 seasons. Now, she was technically a main character because she is the boss of the entire hospital, but I feel like she didn't appear in every single episode, but this season she did because she did a really good job and they clearly wanted to keep her on screen. The fifth essential aspect is cinematography. So when it comes to the visuals, as I always say, it doesn't need good visuals. It's just a hospital and it looks realistic enough where it looks good. So that's all it really needs for the visuals. They don't have to go all out. And when it comes to the emotional side, the show really does do a good job overall with getting you connected to these characters and having that kind of emotional connection, so any big impact is impactful to the viewer. I think they did a really good job in Season 5 in particular, especially if you obviously have had experience with substance abuse or know someone with substance abuse, because that's a heavy topic in this season. It will impact you a lot. I think they did a good job of connecting to that specific kind of audience. And even though I've never had experience with that, and I don't know of anyone that has, it still affects me because it feels real. It feels like something that's a real situation that could come across to anyone, and they did a good job of representing that. And obviously, like I'm so just enthralled with this show that I have this emotional connection with Dr. House himself because I love the character. I think he's awesome. I think Hugh Laurie does an amazing job actually presenting him. So, of course, since this is happening to him, the emotional side is, I do feel it because I feel for this character. The sixth essential aspect is soundtrack. So there's not much to talk about for soundtrack. I mean, in the first 4 seasons, it had the same exact soundtrack, the same exact theme, and it's continuing on to season 5. I mean, the individual sound pieces throughout each episode that could be dramatic or energetic or anything like that, sure, those are good, and they're just not memorable because it's just there to make the TV show more watchable instead of just dead silence. But when it comes to the actual main theme of the show, I will remember it forever now because I just grinded through 5-6 seasons of this show in the past, very short amount of time. So that theme song is burned into my memory, but for the average viewer, it's not a memorable soundtrack. And the 7th essential aspect is time. So amongst its seasons, I think season 5 definitely will be memorable because you can tell from season 4 that it was going to be a downward slope, and they did immediately fix that with season 5 and went back to the original roots. So I think that's going to be the memorable thing here that it has, where it stood the test of time, at least for its individual show, is really because they dodged a big bullet, and I'm hoping that they will continue on with these next few seasons. Now, onto the rating. So I'm gonna be blunt, I'm just gonna give this an 80. I think it deserves to be higher up there. It's a good season, it was a good watch. It felt more like original House. I'm not gonna bring it up to that mid to high 80s where the first 3 seasons were. It's just not at that level. But it's definitely above the 60, I think I gave season 4 because that was a very mid-season. So it's right in between. So I'd settle for any high 70s to low 80s. I would settle for anywhere in that range. And finally, the rankings. So individually, it's going to be 4th, above season 4, but below season 1. So, I mean, I was saying this earlier, it is not as good as the first 3 seasons, but it is much better than the 4th season. So it wasn't a hard ranking. If it was a little more like the first 3 seasons, I can see this going over season 1. I think the plot honestly was a little better than season 1. I just think that because it was kind of the origin season and introducing you to everything, there was just a lot more character development that happened in season 1 compared to season 5. And in all time, obviously, it's going to stay in first above Blue Mountain State season 1 through 3. I think that if it stayed through that damaging 4th season and just improved since then, it's obviously going to stay in first. There's no reason for it to go lower. So it was a very easy ranking today for this season. That's all I have for House Season 5. If you guys enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to comment what TV show or movie you want me to review next. If you want to see someone that does something very similar, check out my best friend, Mr. Majoritarian. He does the same exact thing I do, except he doesn't do TV shows. He strictly sticks to movies, but he actually does 2 all-time lists, one for entertainment and one for cinematography. So if you think that's something you might enjoy, definitely go check him out. His link will always be in my description. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. Peace out.